Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Friday, the 29th of July. With Robert Murray McShane, one of the chapters we read is Jeremiah chapter 25. In it, Jeremiah speaks words of condemnation to the people of Israel. He says, I've been prophesying to you for 23 years to turn away from your sins, and you haven't. You've continued ignoring God. You've continued worshipping the surrounding gods. You've made yourselves idols. You've not listened to God. Judgment will come. And then in verse 9 we read, Therefore, the Lord Almighty says this, Because you have not listened to my words, I will summon all the people of the north and my servant Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, declares the Lord. And I will bring them against this land and its inhabitants and against all the surrounding nations. Here was God saying, I'm going to bring people to do my will. And he describes Nebuchadnezzar as my servant, Nebuchadnezzar. Now, Nebuchadnezzar had nothing to do with God. If anything, he denigrated the God of Israel. He said, that God's useless. My gods are far better. He wasn't listening to God, trying to walk in his ways and be used by God. But what Nebuchadnezzar wanted was completely irrelevant, because God is sovereign and God can work in any way with anyone, and he will achieve his purposes despite what the world may think, despite what we may try to do. You can never block or thwart God, and God is not limited by anything. And in a sense, that's a warning to us that some of the disasters we see going on in the world might well be God's judgment. I'm not saying they are, but it is possible. And I'm quite sure that many of the Jews at the time of Jeremiah did not see what is going on as part of God's plan and judgment. It is only with hindsight that it became clearer. So we've no idea. But the other and more encouraging aspect is, if God is able to use people who have nothing to do with him, if God is able to say, Nebuchadnezzar's my servant, how much more us who are listening to him and seeking his will and wanting to be used, how much more can he use people like you and I? And he does, and we need to be encouraged by that, and we need to be stepping out and saying, God, work in me, work through me as I go about my day, as I engage with the world, in everything that I'm doing. God, I want to be your servant. And if you can use Nebuchadnezzar, you can use me. Please do. So ask God to do that, and know that he will. You will be a blessing, and you will be blessed. Good luck.